I'm extremely proud to present the Marjory Stoneman Douglas Defender of the Everglades Award to our friend, Richard Grosso. We have an additional surprise for Richard that was put in here at the last minute, and at this moment, I would like to invite Mayor Daniella Levine Cava to the podium.
Well, I couldn't resist joining this wonderful organization for this very, very special recognition, one that I feel personally very attached to, because Richard has been my mentor and guide on how to protect our Everglades from the legal perspective, but more than that, he's actually a great organizer too. So I just want to say how proud I am to stand with you and to be part of this special recognition. Also with his wonderful wife, Shannon Estenos, who what Richard didn't teach me, Shannon did, or Katie Sorensen did. So we're in this together. We know you've dedicated your life to this work, and your life is still moving forward, so we have lots more to look forward to. You have been at the forefront of some of the most important legal battles, including against Miami-Dade County. You go, guy, you know, that's fine. For our land, our water, and our wildlife, and some of the toughest fights, like was just mentioned, the Aligned Project, still not moving. Still not moving. So, hey, you go, guy. So, whether it's defending the Everglades against those powerful interests, and by the way, they're lined up, there's more of them coming, so we've got our work cut out for us. You have never backed down from doing what's right. You've set legal precedents for all of us. Nationally, I'm sure you've inspired a new generation of advocates to stand up for our environment. And so I bring you today official recognition from my office, Miami-Dade County, but specifically the Office of the Mayor. You have something. Right behind you. Yeah. Okay, and I'm wearing the hat, you know, just to be part of the spirit here, but okay. So actually, this is something unique. This is a proclamation honoring your accomplishments, which I'm not going to read again because you've heard them and they bear repeat. But just to say, it is an official recognition from my office, which I've really never had the opportunity to do. So it's the very first time coming from my office, thanking you for the leadership that you've shown.
Thank you, Mayor. One of the best things about getting this recognition, I get to sit at a table with Katie Sorensen and Shannon Estenos and Mayor Daniella Levine Cava. And when I think about Marjory Stoneman Douglas, you know, I think about the power of women. I think about the power of journalists. It's no coincidence that Eve Samples and Gil Smart, former journalists, are now where they are, Friends of the Everglades. And the role that journalists, who are under attack these days, play in our society, in a democratic society, in protecting the earth that we depend on is so hugely important. We all must continue every day to stand up for the power, the freedom, the independence of journalists. And because achieving what we all want to achieve in life requires legal advocacy. And I sit here and I get an award, and you mentioned the Logistics Center, and my co-counsel, who was really the brains of the operation, Mr. Paul Schwepp, was a huge part of that legal victory. One of the best people and lawyers you will ever meet in your life. It takes legal advocacy. It takes the kind of guts that organizations like Friends of the Everglades have to stand up and bring litigation when that is absolutely necessary, when all else has failed. But complete success also requires a political strategy, thought to marry that legal victory or positioning that you can get with having a solution that you can execute and that's implementable and that will stick around for a number of years. You have to have that entire suite of tools that you use. We may feel that the environment is one of the things under threat today, and we are right about that. But the other side of that coin is that the environment is a bipartisan issue. As a lawyer, I represent liberal Democrats. I represent MAGA Republicans in litigation, people who are trying to protect their slice of Florida. It is a bipartisan issue, overdevelopment, bad development in the wrong place. It's a bipartisan issue, saving the Everglades, water quality, all of those things. It makes us leaders. Do not act as persecuted, woe is us people. Everyone wants to be an environmentalist. Everybody wants to stop pollution. So don't wait for someone to tell you you're a leader. In your circle, and the group of impressive people that is in this room have influence in a lot of circles around the state and around this country. Use your influence on behalf of the environment. Keep it a front page item. Seize the moment. Make sure anyone seeking elected office in your county, in your city, in your congressional district, in your state, or representing you in the U.S. Senate or the House of Representatives, insist that they talk about environmental issues, insist that they demonstrate an understanding of them, and insist that they demonstrate a willingness to prioritize those issues for your good, for the good of our country, for the good of our planet. I thank you so much for this honor. It's really been a special morning and afternoon for me to be here. I cannot thank you enough. I am incredibly honored by Friends of the Everglades and our wonderful mayor. Thank you all so very much.